well do you really know who you are? What are your thoughts that you think when you look in the mirror? When you're sitting there, maybe in traffic, and contemplating your life and what you've accomplished, are you happy with what you've accomplished? Do you think about who you are or who you were? Do you know who you are? Or is your perspective and perception of who you are based on what someone else told you you could do, be, or accomplish in this world? You know, for the longest time, I would tell people I am a victim of my childhood. And then I thought, okay, now I am a wife. Now I am a mother. Now I am a homeowner. Now I am a homemaker. But after 32 years of being that wife, homeowner, homemaker, and my marriage ended in divorce, then I found myself in a position of once again asking myself, who am I? If I'm not that wife, that homemaker, that homeowner, who am I? If I'm not a we and I'm a me, what does that mean? Because I got married at 17 years of age. So I was married longer than I was not married. And that's how I recognized myself. That was my identity. That's how I saw who I was. And I was still struggling with the me from my childhood. And during my divorce, I had this burning desire. Now I understand it was a very high spiritual calling, but I didn't understand it at the time, to write a book. Nancy, you need to write a book. You need to get your message out there. You need to share what you're doing. So as I was going through my divorce from a 32-year marriage, I wrote and published my first book titled Chocolate or Vanilla? Life is All About Choices. Now here's what I want to tell you about this book. I knew nothing about writing a book. I knew nothing about marketing. I knew nothing about publishing the book. To say I knew nothing means I knew nothing. It was literally a calling that I felt so strongly, and I followed that calling. Even when I was going through one of the darkest nights of my soul, because at that time, I didn't believe in myself. I had lost everything. Everything that I thought I was, I lost. I saw it as slipping away, going away from me. I'm losing this. Now what do I do? Now who am I? Where do I go from here? I was so scared, and I felt so alone and so ashamed and so guilty. And I felt unworthy, and I had very low levels of self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, self-image. But when I put my story out there, when I published my book, it had an effect that I could never have dreamed of, that I could never have envisioned for myself. I had people telling me, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing your story. Because you shared your story, now I feel that I have the opportunity to share my story, to talk about what's been going on in my life. You know, we keep secrets in our life. We want people to see us as successful, educated, smart, loving, kind, compassionate. We want people to see us in that light. And yet, we will fight every day not to see ourselves in that light. Why do you think that is? It's because we've been taught that everything we want is outside of us. We have to go somewhere to get something. We have to learn something in order to have what we want in life. We have to attract someone, attract the job, attract the bank account. We have to do all of these things that are outside of us in order to be thought of as successful. So what we do a lot of times is, I won't say we fake it until we make it, but a lot of times we put out a lot of lies, innuendo, subterfuge, smoke and mirrors, right? Because we really aren't ready for someone to see us as we truly are. But every time you level up. That's what I like to call it, leveling up, meaning every time I learn something new and fabulous about myself, I say, wow, I leveled up about this. Wow, I leveled up about that. And it makes me feel so excited to know that when I'm ready to go within, when I'm willing to go within and do the inner work, to let go of those negative beliefs, those limiting beliefs, those fear-based beliefs that tell me that I'm no good, that I deserve to feel guilty, that I deserve to feel shame, that I deserve to feel unworthy. When I'm in that space, that's when I know that I have let go of a limiting belief. I'm mastering my beliefs about something I believed about myself that was actually limiting me and holding me back. Because limitations of any kind are based on fear. A fear of being too successful, a fear of someone saying something about us that we don't want them to say, a fear of being judged, a fear of someone saying, who do you think you are to be sharing this knowledge? And I will tell you, if you say to yourself, why should I listen to you, Nancy? I would be the first one to tell you, please do not believe anything that I say. Find out for yourself. If my message resonates with you, then by all means, listen to what I'm sharing. Take it in. Pay attention to your gut. Is there something I'm saying that you were meant to hear? And how is it going to take you to your next level? Because after the first book came the second book. Because then I found that there was another level of healing that I wanted to do, right? I wanted to heal my relationship with my mother. That was very tumultuous for me, very difficult. As a mother myself, I could not understand the choices, and there was a lot of anger, animosity, frustration, low levels of self, low levels of self-love because of my relationship with my mother. But here's the thing. Being willing to do the inner work then gave me the information to write my second book, Healing the Child Within. Life is all about choices. This is about mother-daughter relationships. Now I'm a 2-time published author. Oh my gosh. And this book made the bestseller list. Now, as I'm leveling up there, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, do I really have the right to share this information? Do I really have the right to get out there and talk about mother-daughter relationships? And here's the thing. This is my story. But when I share my story, I can tell you that women have come to me and they have said, thank you so much for writing this book. I've purchased a copy for myself, for my daughters, and we're all going to read it together. And then we're going to do the exercises in the book, and we're going to talk to each other on a level of really listening to each other. So because I was willing to do the inner work, because I was willing to share my story, to go beyond my limiting beliefs, to let go of any fear-based belief about getting myself out there, about who I am and what I'm here to do, and do I have a right to do it? When I was willing to let go of those beliefs, I started being able to help women in a different way. And a couple years later, I wrote my third book on divorce. Divorce, because letting go does not mean giving up. You know, anything that we let go of does not ever mean that we are giving up on ourselves. Because sometimes we simply must get to a point where we say, I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to let that go and make space for something bigger, better, and more fabulous in my life. So I invite you to think about, who are you? When you look at yourself in the mirror, who do you see? Who do you tell yourself you are? Do you believe that you're an amazing person? Do you believe that you're here with a special gift and talent that no one else has, that's unique to you? And what are you doing with that gift and that talent? Are you ready to go within? Are you ready to do the inner work? for whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever your limiting belief is that says, I can't do that, I can't be that, I can't have that, this is impossible. Are you ready to let that go? Are you ready to step into who you really are? Because when you do, I can guarantee you there is someone who is ready and waiting to hear your message. There is someone that you're meant to reach. Whether you write books, whether you get out there and talk to people, whether you stand from the stage and share your story, whether you share from behind the screen, whatever it is that you're meant to do, maybe you're a behind the scenes person, whatever it is, do it with confidence. Do it with high levels of self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, self-image, self-worth. Know without a shadow of a doubt that you are here to do something so fantastic. What would that be like for you? What would happen in your life if you would start telling yourself every day, today I am going to have a very high positive impact on the world? And you don't have to know what it is. Simply say that statement to yourself. Today, I am going to make a very high positive impact on the world. And then step back. And if you truly believe it and you're vibrating on that level, you'll start to see people, opportunities, experiences coming into your life that will amaze you. That you will be standing back and saying, oh my gosh, I never in a million years would have dreamed that my life could have such an impact on who I am, how I see myself, and how I am sharing myself with others. And then think about it. As you are impacting others, every single person that you impact has a ripple effect to the people they're impacting, and so on and so on. So what are you here to do? What do you see when you look in the mirror? Who are you? How would you answer that question? Who am I? Why am I here? What am I meant to do? What really lights me up? What do I love doing? What makes me really, really happy? You know, I often suggest to people that they create a happy list. And seriously, there should be at least 200 things on your happy list. Write down what makes you happy. And then when you look over your list, feel into it. Pay attention to how it feels to have that happiness in your life. What is that impact that you're having on another? For me to sit and have conversations with my daughters, my grandchildren, and now as a great-grandmother, when I think about the legacy that I'm leaving for my family, because I chose to love me. I chose to ask myself the question, who am I? Am I that person that I was told I am? Am I that person who's never going to amount to anything? Am I that person who deserves to feel shameful, guilty, remorse? Am I that person? Or is there more to me? I invite you to ask yourself the question, who am I? Now, if this message speaks to you and you're thinking to yourself, I would like to know more of who I am. I would like to put more of myself out there. I would like to stop being afraid. I would like to have higher levels of self-confidence, self-image, self-love, self-worth, and self-esteem. If that's you, then I invite you to ask yourself, who am I? What are my gifts and my talents to myself and to the world? What am I here to do? We can have dreams and we can have goals, but so often we can only dream and set goals based on what we know. And we know what we know based on past experiences. So it's time for us to stop creating our life and our future from past experiences. It's time for us to step into the quantum field of knowing that you are amazing. You are a fabulous human being. And you are meant to shine your light brighter and brighter and brighter. You are meant to stop hiding your light. So what does that look like to you? What would it mean to you to shine your light brighter and brighter every single day? Remember, if you're continuing to try to create your future from your past, you're going to struggle. You're going to find yourself in those low vibrations of fear, guilt, remorse, judgment, anger, feeling like a victim, or having a victim mindset. You're going to attract those types of people, places, and events into your life because that's the level that you're feeling. That's the level that you're vibrating at. Remember, whatever we put out into the universe, we attract back to us 10 times over, 100 times over, in multiple ways. So what are you thinking about yourself? What are the thoughts that you think and the words that you choose? And how are they creating your life? Are you happy with where you are? Or are you ready to level up? Are you ready to take that next step, to go to the next level? If you are ready and you don't even know what that looks like, I invite you to visit masteringyourbeliefs.com. I invite you to ask some questions. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.